Was he not used either to start the ninth inning or certainly when the lineup turned around to the top of it?
Because I really just needed him for the save. We needed him for the save tonight. There was he had limited pitches. It was one inning only. In these circumstances, you don't get him up and then don't get him in. So if we had caught the lead, he would have pitched. That's it.
Third row, center.
Joe, letting Almora hit against Jansen, you haven't really let him hit against righties, and it's one of the tougher ones in the league. What was the thought process there?
He's, among all of our guys, he's the guy that makes contact, regardless of, it might not be a high average sometimes against the righty, but I thought he had a better chance of making contact. If you look the way he pitches, and again, if you dig deeper, our lefties were really not a good matchup. I didn't think for him at that point. I thought he wouldn't move the baseball, and he did.
Same row to the right.
Yes, sir.
Why Lackey in that spot?
Because he was going to pitch the next inning too, and two righties coming up right there. I liked him a lot on the first guy, Taylor. Once that walk occurred, then all bets are off against Turner. Nobody's a really great matchup against Turner, so it just did not work out. I liked him against the first guy.
Back to the center there.
Joe, the approach against the bullpen in general, are you happy with it? I mean, obviously the results you're not happy with, but...
Well, we scored 1 run today. That's the issue. We've scored 11 runs in 6 games during the playoffs. We had, like I said, 5 with 10 and 1 with 9, and now it's 6 with 11. So we just have to become more offensive. It was a great game. I thought our defense was outstanding. We played great defense all over the field. Really entertaining game. They got us in the end. That just happens sometimes. I thought the defense was great. I thought Johnny Lester, we hung with it as long as we could. That's part of the issue there. I mean, just if we had gotten Johnny deeper into that game, then the bullpen usage can be different. But was it 4 2/3, and then you're pressed with these other guys sooner, and then makes the end of the game tougher.
Stay right there.
Is a guy like Lackey, who's a starter, is that kind of the risk you take in terms of the first batter? There might not have the command right away, and I mean the walk was the
right. It was the big play, but I'm just betting on his experience right there as much as anything. I know that he went out there and tried to make the pitches that he wanted to make. I knew that the crowd would not affect him, and it didn't. I mean, he just the first walk he just kept trying to get Taylor to chase. Once he got to 2 strikes and he didn't chase, to the hitter's credit. And then I didn't see the last pitch to Turner, but obviously it was pretty good. But I really thought that John would not be affected by the moment.
Last row to the right.
Yes, sir.
Joe in the back. With Carl, mission accomplished for him.
Yep.
The cameras caught you kind of giving him a message in the dugout after. What was the message?
Pretty much that's you right there, brother. You can do that. You can do that. He got 4 outs, I believe, and hopefully that's going to pick him up for the rest of the series. But that's what we've seen on a more consistent basis this past season. The outliers have been what you saw in Washington, where the performance wasn't as good, but for the most part, what you saw tonight came out like 96, 97, 98. Second inning, maybe down to 96, but made some really good pitches.
Hey, Joe.
Stay back to the left.
Joe.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Hey,
does a loss like this sting more than a quote-unquote normal loss?
It's a loss. The biggest, you could always come back to the 9th inning and point out the guy hit a home run, but we got to do better than 1 run. We just got to do better than that. Offensively, we've kind of been stifled. We're pretty fortunate to be in this position right now based on the number of runs we scored over the last week. So we just have to do a better job at the plate. Like I said, to the starter, we got to get the starter more deeply into the game to really permit the way you want to use your bullpen.
Third row to the right here.
So you've relied on your experience throughout this whole postseason. It's one of your strengths. How about now, losing this team in this manner, going back home?
I think I know we'll be fine. I know we'll get a good day's rest tomorrow. We'll come out and play our game on Tuesday. We got Kyle going, which is good for us. They have a good pitcher also. But listen, we lost 2 tough games here with very difficult games. I thought we represented ourselves well. Again, today, typically, I loved the defense. I thought it was outstanding. We just did not get the hits, and that's been pretty much the motif this entire postseason. We've had one really good offensive game, and even in that game, a lot of the runs were scored in awkward ways. We just got to start hitting more consistently.
Anything else for Joe?
Yep.
Bill to the right.
Just to clarify, Joe, you said Wade was only available for 1 inning.
Yeah.
If that had not been true, would he have been in the 9th inning, or you were holding off for the save situation?
No, I don't necessarily hold off for the save. In the situation tonight, coming off of his last performance, the other thing you have to consider is this. Understand, when you have a guy like that and coming off the performance that he had, to warm him up and then not use him is equally as bad. like another warm him up, not put him in a game, and then ask him to pitch maybe 2 innings later. That's really not good form. So tonight, really was waiting for that opportunity to grab a lead and then throw him out there. That's what it was all about. There was no way he was pitching more than one, and that was pretty much it.
Up front in the center?
Yes.
Joe, what's different about this Dodger team opposed to last season?
And not a whole lot for me. You saw 2 really closely contested games. I think the difference is we're not. If you remember last year, we didn't score any runs early on against the Dodgers. Then we did, and then we finally got them. I think for more than anything, they're very similar to in my mind's eye. It's just that we have to get our offense going.
Anything else? Thanks, Joe.
Cool, you got it. You're welcome.